Lucky Lefty podcast. What's up, everybody? Man, no, I'm laughing because literally, as the countdown was getting to like 3 seconds, I had like the biggest sneeze of my life. Like my back got threw out of whack. How's everybody doing today? Left will be along shortly. The Onora boys are definitely in the building. We are brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure that you do so responsibly. You got to do it responsibly. Today's show, we tap into the purpose of the spring from Marcus Freeman, according to Marcus Freeman. And then we're going to hear from the coordinators, Al Golden and Gerard, as Malik calls him, Gerard Parker. Some very interesting things, especially when it comes to those guys that have stood out and how the youngsters are going to fare moving forward into the fall camp. LL question of the day. Is it a positive or a negative that the quarterback situation has not been settled? Is it a positive or a negative that the quarterback situation at Notre Dame has not been settled? That's the LL question of the day. As always, subscribe to us on YouTube. The little thumbs up, hit that. It's the like button. Helps with our views. Leave your comments. We respond to them all. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction. Well, Irish Breakdown, but we want you to really tap into CFB Nation. Rise and Draft of Ryan Roberts, CFB All-American. Great content, great shows. Tap in. CFB Nation is going to be the home of the best content for college football, especially once the season starts. We're getting shows, we're directing shows and producing more shows. So you're going to see more content up, and leading the way is Lucky Lefty Podcast. So go to CFB Nation on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Tap in right now. Go right there, search CFB Nation, tap into all the great content, follow, set it up for automatic download if you use the Apple Podcast. We greatly appreciate you. Leave 5 stars in all of your comments. Home and a Misguided Passion, giving you the audio edible each and every day. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. So as we wait for Left and get to the purpose of this season or this spring under Marcus Freeman, let's get to some of your comments as far as the question of the day. Anthony O, positive for sure. Marvin Bell, thanks for tapping in. He says positive. Our guy Tyler, Misguided Passion Bench, nice, says it's good. Elizabeth, hey, Elizabeth Crook, all pluses. Our guy Connor Nepper, positive. You want competition. I'm assuming you mean competition. You need completions in the quarterback room as well, though, Connor. I say both. Both making each other better going against a good defense. Go Irish. Double Down says huge positive means TB was able to hold SH off this spring as he should. MWJR, it's a positive because that means TB is battling better than anticipated, so they can't just give it to Sam Hartman. Left. What's good with it?
We in the building. We in the building.
LL question of the day, Left. Is it good or bad that the quarterback situation hasn't been settled?
Bad.
Whoa. See, Left, you jumped the gun. I didn't even throw you the oop yet. Let me set it up. Because now we're just allowing LL Nation to say what they have to say. Original Clyde the Glide. Perhaps positive, maybe negative. Either Sam's not who we think he is, or TB12 has improved dramatically, or they're both very good. Let's see. Doma Wop. Positive that MF is letting it unfold. Negative that SH hasn't separated himself as expected. All right. Now, in order to get to this, we'll get to it in a moment. I just want to point out that you know how it is, right? Whether it's basketball, football, any sport, when it comes to video games, you know how you fall in love with a team? When the next 2K comes out, I'll be playing with the Kings, dog. I I I I, I made up my mind last night, dude. I'm just playing with Sacramento. Just I don't even care if they lose, even if they lose this series. I don't care.
Shout out Mike Brown.
Yo, when the next 2K comes out, I'm playing with the Sacramento Kings, bro.
That's right. It's
It's
a fun team to play with.
it's an exciting brand of basketball. They just want to keep the pace going, keep the tempo going, use their youth, use their depth. It's absolutely amazing to watch, man. It's absolutely you go from like a snooze fest, which was Brooklyn versus Philly, and then like late night, you're like wide open,
Shit, the
like
Minnesota game, the Minnesota series is boring too.
man,
The East is boring until it's like Milwaukee and
in
Sixers,
Boston, yeah,
Sixers or something like that.
yeah, bro. Let me tell you something.
I don't like watching the Heat play. I don't know what it is. I just don't like watching the Heat play. It's like, man, just beat them already. That's how I feel when I watch them. Just golly, it's just the most. Even though Jimmy Butler's a good player,
Yeah,
I'm just like, man, give me something else. Give me the Kings. I want to see the Kings play every night. How about that?
it's not even the fact.
Or the Lakers. I want to see Lakers play.
I mean, De'Aaron Fox, they have a dude. De'Aaron Fox is the dude, right? He's a dude because that dude in the fourth quarter just comes alive. Like he just flat out comes alive. So they have a closer,
They
but
can't guard him. It's just too quick.
they can't guard him.
He's a more polished John Morant, in my opinion.
Well, he's a more mature John
Okay.
Morant.
Okay.
See, it goes back to what we were talking about with Lorenzo Styles yesterday. Like people don't understand the maturation process of a young man and his game, right? And I saw a video of John Morant at his locker, like whining, talking about, man, it's just one thing after another. Take some accountability. Yeah, it is one thing after another. Yeah. And the majority of that stuff you brought on yourself. So, yeah, fix it, mature, take the game more serious, and watch how life turns in a different direction for you, man. It's it's crazy. So, man, you got De'Aaron Fox who goes out there, works, matures, gets married, meets the love of his life out there, gets married. His wife and his baby on the sideline. Baby's rocking the headphones each home game. He's part of the community. He's being a man, dude. He's being a man, and he's swaggy as hell without all
I
that
mean,
foolishness, dude. You don't
see,
need all of that. De'Aaron Fox is just as swaggy as John Morant without all of that dancing in the background, all the silliness. Just go out there, play ball, and be a killer, man. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's why they need to get rid of Dylan Brooks. Because all that stuff, that's that Dylan Brooks stuff, man. Get that crap off the team, man. And just let these dudes go play and grow up and become men, man. And it's just, man, it's amazing to see him, Malik Monk, who is known for getting smacked in the back of the head by Michael Jordan when he was in Charlotte. Like, to see their maturation.
yeah, true.
And Malik Monk honestly was balling a little bit with the Lakers last year.
Yeah, he was holding it up. It just wasn't a good fit for everybody else.
So what you mean it wasn't a good fit for everybody else?
Like he was playing well, but you had Russell playing off, you had everybody else playing off. Braun was hurt, AD was hurt, so it just he couldn't. Like De'Aaron Fox is a great compliment to what he's got. Sabonis is healthy every game, so they got a nice structure. And then
Hey
Davion Mitchell
man,
is a great supporter too.
hey, I love Sabonis, but
The lefty,
I rock with Draymond last night.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's
First,
playoff
first of
basketball.
all, like you basically tripped me as I was trying to run back. You had your arm literally wrapped around my foot, and at that point, dude, however my foot comes out, that's how it comes out. It's like it
It's
is
petty.
what it is.
It's petty. Draymond asked for an X-ray, so he won't get suspended. He said,
Look, they're not if the NBA suspends Draymond, it'll be one of the worst moves they made. Like,
seriously, it
yeah,
will.
it would be.
Because
It
this
would
series
be.
is too good to suspend him for that. Just think of the ratings.
Yeah, yeah. So it's interesting. I want to go to ESPN before we get to Marcus Freeman. And the football power index came out left. Where do you think Notre Dame lands on this football power index?
It's got ESPN.
Yeah.
They be hating, so probably in the top 15.
They come in at ninth.
Okay,
They come in at ninth
no, they hate. Wow.
behind Clemson, USC, Michigan, Texas, LSU, Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State. Now, here's the thing the top three teams, they're giving them credit for having the best returning production offensively that's non quarterback. That's kind of weird, right?
Best offensive production, non-quarterback.
Non quarterback returning, meaning
This
skill
what
positions,
you mean the running game? I
running
mean,
game, wide receivers,
no.
all of that.
Don't say wide receiver.
I mean, the only wide receiver group, Ohio State's wide receiver group is decent. Alabama, they weren't good last year, so I have to see. Georgia always finds a way to have some very complimentary wide receivers.
It's
I'll leave it at that.
It's a complimentary system, but with a new offensive coordinator, they probably might be more highlighted as well.
Yeah. I'm shocked that they have USC seventh.
Well, they lost to Bolitnikov and Jordan Addison.
Yeah, but they still have the number one
They got
quarterback in the
Mario.
nation.
They got Mario Loop Runner, Zach Branch. Who said the number one in the nation?
I said they have the number one quarterback.
Oh, yeah, they got, but Drake May, number 2 or 1B quarterback, don't got no receivers with Caleb Downs gone. So
Hmm.
it's interesting to see they really separate the quarterback's impact from the receiver group, because I would just naturally put Caleb's receivers in the top 5 because Caleb's top 2.
Is there any brand in football that gets premature love more than Texas?
Uh,
Texas is back. It's like
nah,
an annual thing, bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
every year, Texas is back.
Well, no. Michigan, either Texas or Michigan. Michigan has backed it up by making the playoffs, but that's because they've been able to out recruit Ohio State for one game.
That's interesting that Sean Crawford, who joined us yesterday, said that Ryan Day might be on the hot seat.
I mean, yeah, only because you would have to be on the hot seat for something. You can't be on the hot seat all the time for not winning the national championship. So you got to be on the hot seat for something. You're not on the hot seat for what else? So that's why the stakes are just higher at Ohio State, is because you have to maintain at least beat Michigan. If you can't beat Michigan, all the other games is like, all right, that you at this point, Ohio State is beat Michigan, win a championship. If you can't do one of the two, and you're not doing either one, you're
Yeah.
naturally on the hot seat because the fans are like, okay, what's the problem?
Hey, bro, you mess around, you mess around and lose three straight to Jim Harbaugh.
That's a gift and a curse though, because
You're from Ohio. That's what Shaun said yesterday. He was like, "I'm telling you what I'm hearing in the home state." Like,
but that's a gift and a curse though. When you're born on third base, you're granted a lot of things like a guaranteed 9-10 win season, a great quarterback every year, you know, some first round players that you get drafted, a nice softball schedule. Being born on third base comes with a lot of advantages, but that also comes with the expectation that you beat Michigan every year. That
mhm,
has to come with it because that's how we got to this point, by whooping them up every year. And then your challenge is to win a national championship, but you're gonna have a great chance.
yeah,
But the challenge is doing that. So you know, I think it just heightens the intensity of how hard it is to be a head coach at Ohio State because of what Urban left. Whereas Brian Kelly leaving, it's an opportunity for somebody to go in there and cause some disruption by blowing up the spot. So it'll be interesting to see the stock of two. I think Marcus Freeman's stock is rising with Notre Dame program, and I think Ryan Day's, because it was so high, it naturally is going to fall a little bit. Don't
mm,
have your quarterback, losing out on the number one quarterback for the next couple of years. You with a project. You're trying to get your defense on schedule. Can't stop the run. Losing to Michigan. You taking a dip. But Ohio State's stock was just like Apple. It was just kicking butt. You know, it's like Nike or something, a household
you
stock.
know. But sometimes in a race, you can be so caught up with keeping pace with the person that's in front of you that you don't see the person coming from behind that has that extra kick. And it seems like that's Ohio State trying to keep pace with Georgia and Alabama. And Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, like, here they come on the inside,
Yep.
down the stretch. Next thing you look up, it's like, where the hell did they come from? You know what I'm saying?
And you can't
So
can't do nothing with them either.
yeah, yeah. So and the way they do it, like they just line up and just punch you in the mouth.
Yeah.
It's like it's just a manhood thing. Like it don't. It's like, man, we can play anywhere on this earth. We gonna bang you the same way, and there's nothing you can do about it. That has to be the biggest frustration. And if it's me, I think Notre Dame. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. Michigan knew they could beat Ohio State because they had done it already, but they gained more confidence after watching Notre Dame play Ohio State in Week 1 because
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, Notre Dame physically manhandled these dudes for
Seriously.
2.5 quarters." Like, okay, because that's what we do. Like that's what we do. And it just gave them more confidence. And as much as people thought it was going to be a game of skill and CJ Stroud just throwing the ball around and all of that, no,
Yeah,
that's
because Ohio State's got to be more balanced going into next year anyway, because they don't have the luxury of just being like, well, we could throw our way to a victory
yeah,
comfortably, where we could just call a play, he'll get us into the right one, or he'll make us look really good by making a spectacular throw. I think with Kyle McCord, you gotta be like, we gotta run the ball, we gotta give him some buffering with some nice play calls he can run, that kind of thing. So I think it's important uh, for us that we also have a balance, but also take a chance and a bigger risk with our quarterbacks because we do have a quarterback room that's competitive with, top 10 in the country like they have us at 9.
Andrew Gilmore has an interesting comment. Didn't Ohio State redeem itself a bit by almost beating Georgia? If Harrison doesn't get hurt, they probably win. I mean, that's like saying did Notre Dame redeem themselves in big games by almost beating Georgia twice? Like, no. Like, almost. I mean, that's just my opinion. Almost doesn't count, as Brandy said famously in a song one time. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
We almost beat Ohio State last year. Means nothing. Nothing. We lose by 1 point this year. Still won't mean anything. Eventually you have to get over the hump. And for 3 consecutive years, perception wise, to the fan base, because you can sit here and say that the program is still better than Michigan on a national landscape, and they have a better chance of beating Alabama and Georgia. But perception is we've gotten whooped twice. And if it happens a third time, man, who cares about the national landscape? We're not even the best program in the Big Ten from a perception standpoint.
That's true.
At least they had that. Lucky Lefty podcast. Interesting comments from Marcus Freeman left before we get to the coordinators. He talked about the quarterback and wide receiver situation. But first of all, let's start with his quarterbacks left. I'll let you hear this, and then you can take it from there.
Asked me the same question yesterday. We'll name a starting quarterback when.
Well, that was a smart person.
We'll name a starting quarterback when I'm fully confident we have one starting quarterback. I think both of them could be starting quarterbacks for us right now. They're both improving and they're both getting better. So if you can have a competition, right, and 2 guys are getting better, that's what you want, right? That's what you want, and they're both getting better and they're both practicing at a high level. So we'll name a starter at some point. I know we have to. I don't plan to let this thing go into the season. But at some point I know we have to name a starter and we will. But you know what? There was no takeaways, no turnovers. We had 1 fumble on offense. Was the only turnover in the scrimmage today. And he's on 90 plays and 1 fumble. That's really, really encouraging. No pre-snap penalties. Those are the little things that say, okay, you are progressing as an offense. You're doing the little things efficiently. And that's really good to see. There was no interceptions thrown. Guys it seemed to be executing at a high level. I got to go back and watch the film and be able to say, okay, this guy screwed up or this guy screwed up. But when you pull back and take no pre-snap penalties, 1 turnover, which was a fumble by a running back, and that's encouraging.
I think both of our faces.
It's not encouraging, Marcus Freeman. It's not. And it's not encouraging because at this level of football and these decisions, it just takes away from guys in this position and getting ready for a season. You brought Sam Hartman in because a guy, one, hasn't had a full season as a starter in the offseason since he's been there. And on top of that, can't stay healthy in the limited time that he has. So Sam Hartman being the opposite of that is a natural way to get a starter going into the season that you're getting ready. You're bringing in a guy who's a veteran, who's been comfortable playing at this level. Well, not at this level, but at college football Division I level. You're bringing him in and then giving him 50% of the snaps to start to get prepared for 3 games where we need him to be the most comfortable because that's what you brought him for.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what's the plan? You supposed to have this figured out instead of talking like this at the end of spring ball. This should have been what you were saying at the beginning of spring ball if you really didn't know. But why are you bringing in a guy of this stature to not know? Why do you bring in guys with no plans? Caleb Smith came in and retired. We just gave him free education. You're bringing in Sam Hartman, and now you don't know if he's going to start after a full spring. After a full spring of getting 50% of the reps to prepare for a season in which you probably told him he was going to start. You already took the coordinator away, who was probably his in realistic thinking was probably a big reason why he came was because of Tommy. Which I said way back then, I would go with Tyler starting without even thinking about it twice because of situations like this. Now you're at the end of spring ball, you halfway to the starting in the season, and you telling people you don't know? I think that's negligent of one being a head coach in your position because we already seen you go through the fiasco of you trying to get your own coaches. Now you can't get your own quarterback? You don't know yet? It's not encouraging. It's not good because at the end of the day, this is no different than a business. You don't go into the business saying you got 2 CEOs because in every relationship, just like our guy Ye says, there's a 51 and 49 in a relationship. Ain't no 50-50. There's 51 and there's 49. There's a top dog in the situation. This is a top dog situation. This is what you're getting paid millions of dollars for as a head coach on this level of college football. To make a decision. Don't tell the people you don't know. Don't tell the people we got to make it at some point. What do you mean? You're supposed to operate the ship with direction. You have had direction this whole time. You knew what offense you wanted to run. You knew what your philosophy you wanted to have for the team. You know what you wanted to get out of practice. You know the type of players you want to start. You know the type of players you want to recruit. You know the type of vision you got for the next 5 years. You know your coaching staff you wanted. And you can't decide on the most important thing on the team? Your quarterback? And it makes it even crazier because you told the guy that you can't decide who's starting a whole year ago. You was going to bring another dude in. For what?
See that
year ago.
See that's the difference. That for me, you know,
because if I'm Tyler, I'm like,
you sat down in December and you told both of your quarterbacks that basically
y'all not good enough.
Y'all not good enough to get us to where I want to go. That's what you basically said.
And that's fine. If you said
that's cool. Because that's on brand. That's on brand with what he's been doing.
Of conversations,
yes,
direction, vision.
Absolutely.
You know what you want to do.
Absolutely.
And you were decisive.
Were decisive and told them, I'm bringing in a dude.
Because you guys are not good enough.
And they ended up with Sam Hartman. But they swung for bigger fish.
Yeah, who is supposed to be the next level guy, the better dude. So the whole time, who also was the number 1 quarterback that was a transfer portal, right? So this is not just a Keaton Slovis or perceived to be Tyler's equal. We wasn't looking for Tyler's equal in the transfer portal, and we got supposedly the dude that was supposed to be better than Tyler, because that's what Tyler was expecting, that you a whole year prophesized before you even chose the dude.
Right.
So now he thinking, wait a minute, you bringing in some dude that's supposed to be this and that, and now we get to the end of spring, right before we supposed to go to the season and be serious, and you unseriously telling people you don't know? So what was all that talk in December? So you was thinking I was about to cash out. You thought I was some bum, and now I'm not a bum.
And see, let me say it like this. You see, I'm looking at the chat. There's only one person sitting right here, either watching or hosting, that's been through this on both sides.
Yeah.
And that's this dude right here. He knows what it feels like to come out of a bowl game and be the dude. And everybody know that Malik Zaire is the dude. And the offense came into the season ready to take off. And the only thing that stopped them from being one of the top 3 offenses is injury. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. But that team knew in December of 2014 and January 2015, that's the dude. That's the dude in the locker room. Wait a minute.
What's so crazy?
Let's fast forward to a year later. Let's fast forward to a year later when the coach sat with you and Deshaun and was like, I don't know.
How'd the season go? Okay, my whole thing is
that's my point. How does the season go?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
So it's not about we have 2 great quarterbacks. Yeah, but you don't have a dude right now. You don't. After you told your 2 quarterbacks in December that they weren't good enough for where you wanted to go, and you were going to go get a guy that was clearly at that level.
And this is the mistake of these college football coaches not distinguishing the difference or understanding the importance. This is not a receiver. This is the guy that got the ball in his hands every play. Exactly. 80 plays maybe in a game.
Exactly.
This is not no by committee type of decision to make where, we just got all type of guys. Just throw anybody at quarterback. We throw a receiver in there. No. This is no different than the head coach. Marcus Freeman. I would ask Marcus Freeman, how did you like the head coach of offense last year? How did that work out for you? How did it work out? The head coach of offense while you the head coach of the team. Now go in the quarterback room and be like, we got 2 head coaches of the offense in this room. How does that work out? That's all I'm saying. I can talk about the Florida situation. The Florida situation is no different than Sam Hartman's situation. I thought we had a plan going in. I go in, we competing 4 ways. This is a 4-way competition out of nowhere. So, I'm not going to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
I could have had a better chance at Notre Dame splitting it 2 ways, me and Brandon. With Ian getting some run here and there. I was splitting it 4 ways. So, of course, there's no chance of being ready on a whole new environment, whole new team, whole new system. Expected to think about this. Even the number 1 player quarterbacks that are drafted in the league, if they're a Trevor Lawrence, guess how many snaps he's getting in the preseason and then in training camp and in the fall camp and in rookie mini camp? All of them. And even with all of them, he was still trash his first year.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that combined that first year, guess what he did his second year? Because he was the starter the whole time. No different than what did I say about Tyler Buckner back when Jack Cohn was here.
Mm.
He should have been playing or at least leading into starting back then. Because now look at where you at.
You know what I love, Left? See, this is why we do what we do. This is why we spin it different. Right? Because when we spin stuff different and people hear it, they say stuff like, this doesn't make sense. This is ridiculous. Like when we both said Sam Hartman's going to struggle. Remember when everybody's like, oh, Sam Hartman's going to come in, he's going to light things up. And we're like, no, he's not. He's going to struggle. And now that we're hearing, oh, he's struggling a little bit with this and that, now fans are like, we told you he
and
was
then they're
struggling.
surprised, and then they're surprised. Maybe Tyler did progress way better. No,
No. We told you Notre Dame is a different beast than Wake Forest, and we told you he would struggle.
Guess what Texas said? Guess what Texas said? Oh, we know Quinn Ewers is our starter. He said that after the spring game this last weekend. And they got Archman, and everybody thought, oh, Archman and this and that. The offensive coordinator said, hey, we know who our starter is after the spring game. How hard is that? How hard is that? How hard is that? They got a guy coming in with all the hype, no different than us. And they're like, yeah, we know who the starter is. We just like that we got Archman and some reps. So, Marcus Freeman, what are you telling us? You done everything, and we was behind you on everything, and now you getting into the spring talking about
just be decisive.
That's it.
Be decisive. You've been decisive the entire time you've been the head coach of Notre Dame. Win, lose, or draw. Just be decisive. And
you had a plan.
Your plan was to go get that dude.
Go get the dude that's better than Tyler. They brought the dude in that's supposed to be better than Tyler on paper, and stick with it. What do you mean? I don't understand the bailing. Because when you bail, the team gets messed up.
Break it down, Left. See, break it down. See, I love when somebody that's actually been through it can actually explain. Break it down why it's important for the team to know going into fall camp who the dude is instead of trying to waffle back and forth. Break it down, Left.
Because how do you operate going into leading into the fall camp? Now everything's 50-50. Now you got to find time to get here, the chemistry with this guy, the chemistry with this guy. Even the cadences are different. Even the line responds differently because the line knows, okay, Sam Hartman ain't running like Tyler Buckner. I need to, really get in this block. I need to really do this. Oh, who are we listening to? Who's the voice that we listening to when the team's struggling? Let's just talk about little stuff like that. Tyler Buckner, who's been there, everybody knows Tyler Buckner. But if he's not starting and the team doing bad, Sam Hartman ain't looking to be vocal yet because he's trying to learn what to do. So Tyler going to be like, what Tyler going to overstep Sam? What do you mean? He has to if it's 50-50. Now you overstepping Sam. Sam don't get no confidence. Sam not learning at a great pace. He's stuck lathering another dude back. Now they loving up on each other. We don't know who's going to be the top dog. Because guess what? You can't roll two quarterbacks out there versus USC. I mean, you can. There's plays. But how comfortable is USC going into fall camp? And they got good quarterbacks. They're going into, okay, we're going to install this next level, this next layer of greatness on Caleb Williams. Just going to lather another layer. We can't even layer Tyler Buckner. Tyler Buckner is no different than a freshman anywhere else in college football. He got his little 4 games. He can still probably save a red shirt. So I don't understand why bail on a plan of this importance. It happens every time. It's like anytime a head coach goes into the fall training camp talking like this, we know it's a bad season on the way. We know it's a bad season on the way because you're not sticking to your own plan. So you have to come up with a whole new plan going into the fall camp on how you're going to split everything in half. Why are you going to split everything in half with a guy who's never been here? Then you split everything in half with another guy who hasn't played more than 3 games.
It needs more snaps.
Yeah.
He needs reps. That's all Tyler needs. He needs reps.
Both guys need reps. You can't get better as the season starts. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're going into the first game of the season with a guy that's half ready. That's just the result. That's why it's not encouraging. He's half ready. He takes half the reps, half the calls. So when he goes out there looking like Drew Pine, and just in the same number, same height, same jersey, same swag on the field, and he looks no different. Don't be like, oh, he's not what he. Obviously, he's playing at another level.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't never took a trip out the country like this, and then playing football on top of that. He ain't never did nothing like this. And then you tell him, oh, we're giving you half the instructions on how to do the job. You went from working in your local mom and pop shop. Now you got to work in the factory and run the whole thing top to bottom, and we only tell you what half to do.
Look,
looking like this is some BS.
This is what kills me. Like half the people in the chat didn't even give Tyler Buckner a chance to be in this race when Sam Hartman was coming. The same people, like, oh, Tyler sucks. He's done. He might as well transfer. Now all of a sudden, oh, Tyler's obviously gotten better. No, his head coach sat in front of him and told him, I'm going to get a quarterback.
The season was even over.
They hadn't even played the bowl game yet.
When the man was sitting up in the press box with Tommy, he phoned him up. He said, hey, we about to bring another dude in. So just relax. Take your time. Heal. We'll have packages for you. Now you talking about you don't know. That's disgusting because guess what? Now Gerard Parker, what are you going to do?
And people, you don't use fall practice to figure out your quarterback.
No.
You don't do that. Championship teams don't use fall practice to figure out their quarterback. I saw somebody mention Michigan. Man, everybody in the world knew that they wanted J.J. McCarthy to be the quarterback. They had to find a way
to get Cade off of the team. They was like,
Cade just led them to the Big Ten. He just beat Ohio State. Yes. You don't just kick this dude to the curb.
Yeah,
we have to find a way.
Bad. It looks bad to say we don't want you no more. We don't want you no more either because JJ is the better player.
Everybody knew JJ McCarthy was the better player, and that's who they wanted to be the quarterback. Everybody knew that. Everybody.
So it wasn't hard for Michigan, who also runs the ball all the time, so it doesn't matter. But they said we could take it another level by excusing Cade, giving him a chance to go somewhere else.
Yes.
And telling him to go somewhere else.
Yes.
Then saying, you know what? You've been here for 3 years, and all of a sudden, I think you are ready to compete 50-50. What is that?
Absolutely.
Tyler is doing himself a disservice.
Absolutely.
After listening to that, be like, man, this is the third dude you talking about we encouraged by. And these are two dudes that wasn't even here. You was 50-50 with Jack Cohn, who was on the bench in the cold in a log cabin in Wisconsin.
All I want is the head coach to exhibit the same confidence that it took to sit down your two incumbent starting quarterbacks and tell them that they weren't good enough. Keep the same energy when that quarterback hits campus and when that quarterback struggles. That's my dude. That's my dude. J.J. McCarthy has been Jim Harbaugh's dude for a season and a half, even if he wasn't starting. That's the dude that's taking us to the national championship.
That's it.
Everybody in Ann Arbor knew it. Everybody in Ann Arbor knew it. That's the dude. K. McNamara, he's holding the spot.
He's Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's all he's doing.
Just holding it.
He's holding the spot. That's all he's doing.
It well. He holding it up.
That's it.
He's like a push-up, bro. He making it look good.
That's all he's doing.
But he ain't. But he ain't getting it done. But it's okay because you know why? Jim Harbaugh had a plan, and he was decisive. So it wasn't like a messy thing. This is a messy thing at Notre Dame. It's messy because Tyler done let the cat out the bag last year. He told us. They said, Tyler, what do you think about transfer? Shit, they told me last year. They told me last year when I was down and out, hurt, couldn't have a chance to even show could stay healthy or nothing. They told me I was done. So I was prepared. Fast forward, he's sipping banana mangoes, pineapple smoothies Talking about I'm chilling like a villain. Okay, we'll see what happens. We gotta win football games.
Do you think Kirby Smart would like to have the past 2 off seasons or this off season where he has 3 quarterbacks vying for one
Kirby
spot,
Smart's like, what
or he has Stetson Bennett as the known commodity?
As the known commodity, he don't have to worry about offense.
Which offense do you think he wants to go into fall camp with?
Look at Georgia's quarterbacks. Georgia's quarterbacks going through hell right now. Talk about Brock Vandagriff. Shit, I'm day to day. You think this man on life support down there? I'm day to day. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's terrible. That's the leader of your football team.
Yo, but see, this is the thing.
Talk about day to day.
This is the beautiful thing. Left. You from day one have said Tyler Buckner can win at Notre Dame if you just let him play.
If you just let him play,
you said let him play his freshman year and let him get his head knocked off. Let him get his head knocked off. But by the time he gets to the middle of sophomore year, watch the quarterback he becomes. Now all of a sudden he goes to the Gator Bowl, he makes plays. Now all of a sudden we hear he's outplaying the quarterback that came in and transferred from Wake Forest in spring. He's having a fantastic spring.
Yeah, that's building the confidence, building the strength of the team.
Like what?
Off of the back of somebody else, you didn't have to do that. You building Tyler up off the back of Sam Hartman for what?
But this is the thing. This is the thing that I think you're trying to get across to people. You have to be the leader of the team.
That's it.
And we told people the toughest thing to do would be able to take and garner the same amount of respect that Tyler Buckner has from his teammates.
That's it. Yeah, like Sam Hartman
take over the locker room.
He's not. The only way Sam could do it is if Sam was a freaking bona fide number 1 pick, where he walk in the locker room and everybody like, "Oh shit, we just got the new." Sam Hartman's an average quarterback for real. Like, and he's
just to be fair, Sam Hartman was either going in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, okay, we can. But Tyler Buckner
in the NFL draft.
Yes, he from his numbers and accumulation of film and
everything. That was his projection.
Walking down the sidewalk, you would walk right past Sam Hartman. You wouldn't think that was an NFL player. So what do you think they're thinking in the locker room? They're like, he's not out here impressing us like the type of Joe Burrow-esque that will come into the LSU locker room, which took 2 years, by the way, and did magic. They're like, we got a guy why they bring this guy in? And then this guy is in here struggling and y'all not supporting him 100%.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. See, these are the fallacies that people put out. Stop making excuses. Go name a Notre Dame wide receiver in the last 4 years that was better than A.D. Perry at Wake Forest. I'll wait. Go look at the numbers. Don't tell me Sam Hartman didn't have wide receivers. What? You want to talk about the wide receiver group at Notre Dame the last 3 years? Are we kidding?
Unimpressed.
I'm about to win money from a listener who tells me that Tobias Merriweather's going to put up better numbers than A.D. Perry averaged over the last 3 years at Wake Forest.
No.
He's going to put up 90 catches and 1,400 yards with 10 touchdowns. 90 That's what he's going to do.
Tobias going to have 90 catches? No.
That's what the listener said. That's the bet. He's going to have 90 catches, 1,400 yards.
It would be a good year if Tobias get 45 catches.
Look,
it'd be a great year if he get 40.
Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Name one receiver that Notre Dame has had over the last 3 years that was better than A.D. Perry at Wake Forest. Name one. I'll wait.
Perry going in the draft this year. Or
name the wide receiver. Name the wide receiver he has on this team that's going to put up those numbers. Name them. Yeah. Stop making excuses, man. Don't tell me. Don't try to sit up here and act like he's Caleb Williams and Drake May But the NFL, and the reason he came back is because the NFL told him, you're going in the 3rd and 4th round, my dude.
You go to Notre Dame, you can boost it up.
That's what they told him.
Not over Caleb Williams and Drake May.
Don't get mad at us because the NFL told him he was in the 3rd and 4th round.
Why is Lincoln Riley so successful? When his transfers come, they playing all the snaps. What do you mean? When Caleb went from Oklahoma to USC, did he ever take a second team rep? Never. That's why Jackson Dart left. Jackson Dart left before they even got on the field because he knew he was getting all second team.
Dude.
Because Lincoln Riley was like, look, bro, I got my guy coming in. You're good.
Look, man, y'all bringing pins to a gunfight with some of the things you're saying. I don't care if he's the #1 Heisman candidate. Go look at the quarterbacks other than Caleb Williams that went to New York last year. None of them are going higher than the 3rd or 4th round in the NFL draft. That don't mean nothing. Tim Tebow went to New York. That means nothing in terms of the NFL. As far as the NFL, Sam Hartman is viewed as an average quarterback.
And I'm saying average in comparison to Tyler Buckner. There's nothing that Sam's doing that Tyler Buckner can't do. That's why I call Sam average, especially if I'm Tyler Buckner and I'm being told the whole year before that y'all about to bring in this way better player than me, and you bring in Sam Hartman. I'm thinking I'm disrespect. I'm drinking mango pineapple smoothies too. Because what is Sam doing that Tyler can't do if Tyler stayed healthy? That's the whole reason I'm upset about it, is because you brought a dude in that you're saying is supposed to be better than Tyler, and then you bring him in and don't support him. So now it's like, of course he's not going to look better than Tyler because, one, you're not giving him a chance. And two, he's not physically better, or he can't throw farther or nothing like that Tyler can't do. So now Tyler's like, you brought a guy in that's not better than me, and I already know more than he does naturally because I've been here. So, of course, it's going to look like a competition. Now, if they brought Sam in and told Tyler, okay, remember we told you in December, we're just going to rock with Sam until the wheels fall off. That's how you do it. Because then Sam, at that point, can be, okay, I'm 100% comfortable. I can work.
Marcus Freeman said in the bowl game press conference, we're looking to upgrade the position.
Facts.
What else do you need to hear?
That's what he said.
You have quarterbacks on the roster. If you're saying we're looking to upgrade the position, then you're going looking for a quarterback that you deem better than what you have.
And commit to it. Don't half-ass it and be like, well, he's just not good enough. What do you mean? He doesn't know the plays, and you giving him half the reps. And then you telling him to make it work against a team that has a good team. We're a great defense. So in practice, he's not just going to be playing against Wake Forest defense. So he's got to play better on a day-to-day on top of learning and taking half the reps. What is that?
And for everyone that thought he was just about to come in and take the tower and take Notre Dame by storm, and we probably one of the only podcasts that said he's going to struggle. You know why? Because he's facing better defensive talent than he's ever seen.
On a day-to-day. He's got to go get Ben Morrison every day.
Every day.
Who is that Wake Forest comparable to Ben Morrison on a day-to-day?
Day-to-day basis.
So now you got to take a day-to-day basis where he's got to play better on an average day on top of learning stuff he's never seen before, on top of being around receivers he's never had, on top of the fact that he doesn't know what he doesn't know because he's taking half of the reps. If he was taking 100% of the reps, I would be like, okay, he's just not good enough or better than Tyler yet. But we're going to find out in the season. That's how you do it if you bringing this kid in. But if you telling him, we're going to give you half the reps, but you got to play way better than you ever played before every single day because we have way better competition every single day. And the guy that's comfortable, that's been here, grew up in the system, who's the backup, is going to take half of your reps. So he's going to naturally look better than you. What the is that?
No
competition.
No,
There's no such thing as quarterback competition.
He's going to win the Heisman. He's going to win the Heisman. We're about to put up 40 points. It's going to be seamless. We finally got our guy, and all of a sudden, oh man, he's struggling. Yeah. Oh, he's struggling against pressure in practice. He struggled against pressure at Wake Forest. He doesn't make off-script plays. What? You're not learning anything new about Sam Hartman.
He's
You're
not going
not.
to go out there and start making people miss. And
No, he's not
Tyler
Drake
Buckner has a
May.
better chance of doing that. That's why I'm like, why not run with Tyler Buckner? He can get away from pressure. He can make off-schedule plays. You seen the boy run hard as hell. He run harder than Aldridge. You putting a guy that's back there, you're just giving Sam a better offensive line and better talent around him. But you're not giving him the chance to meld with that, splitting his reps with a guy that you said he's worse than. Sam Hartman probably is. He looking like, I'm like, what? Sam, if I'm Sam, I'm like, this is some bull. You bringing me in and ambush me with this super talented quarterback that you saying I'm better than, but it don't look like it. It don't feel like it. This man know everything, answering all the questions. He helping me out. He patting me on the back. He got all the linemen helping. Like, what is this? And then I get in there and I can't get all the reps. You out there, I got the linemen telling me what to do. And then at the end of the spring, after all these practices, Marcus Freeman, the head coach, talking about it's 50-50. What? I don't have a chance if I'm Sam Hartman. How is Sam Hartman going to get exponentially better to prove that he should be the starter, still taking half the reps going into the summer? How much better is he going to get over a guy that's also taking half the reps, but has been there for 3 years? Who do you think is going to be a better player by the end?
That's telling your new quarterback about the whole system. The quarterback coach is learning from him.
Yeah, he's training the quarterback and the quarterback coach. See, he's training both guys, and then you expecting the guy he's training to outpass him in what, 2-3 months? This is ridiculous. Marcus Freeman, that's why it's not encouraging.
And I'm sorry, if you feel like we're being negative, but it's funny. I don't have this problem left. Seeing the business of broadcasting, I had a lot of time to spend with other athletes. I have no problem removing my ego and actually listening to people that have played the game tell me the things that need to be done and the things that can be hurdles and roadblocks to teams. I actually love doing that, whether it's the NBA, college football, whatever. So when I listen to a quarterback that's been through both instances and can tell me the ins and outs of those instances and what to look out for, and we just went through this same thing last year. Wait a minute. Left. It was left. There was no doubt who the starting quarterback was at the end of the spring last year. None. But anybody that could see, there was no doubt. It wasn't even close.
It was Jack Cohn.
And they drugged. No. I'm talking about Drew Pine and Tyler.
Oh. Yeah, it was Tyler Buckner. Yeah, it was Tyler Buckner.
They drug it into the fall. And they shared reps. And it went all the way into the fall. And 2 weeks before the game, Tyler Buckner's going to get the start.
That's such a disservice to Tyler Buckner. He should have 100% of the reps.
You could have said that in April.
Because guess what? Drew Pine was still going to be Drew Pine even if he got 50% or no reps in the spring.
Absolutely.
No reps in the fall camp or leading up to it. If they treated Tyler Buckner like a starter and didn't do this competition thing with Drew Pine, who was also less than as a physical presence of a quarterback like Tyler Buckner, then this year you wouldn't have gotten Sam Hartman, even with the injury, because guess what? We would have won more reps. We would have won 8 to 9 games with Drew Pine not taking no fucking snaps until the game he got in. Because we were better than the most of the teams we played. We still would have lost to SC with Drew Pine not taking no snaps in the spring or the summer. We still would have lost to Ohio State with Drew Pine not taking no snaps in the spring or the summer. But if Tyler Buckner was treated like a starter and took 100% of the starter reps, getting prepared for last year, he wouldn't have been told in December that they were getting somebody better than him. Period.
You know the irony of all this, as we get ready to switch to the coordinators left, the majority of this fan base treated Sam Hartman like a savior.
Yes.
They treated him like a savior. He was about to resurrect Notre Dame football. He was the guy, without realizing that he's not a carrier.
He's not a carrier.
That's not who he is as a quarterback. Because if he was, the moment he's got to campus, everybody would have known. Everybody would have saw it like, oh, yeah, okay. He's that dude.
But that's the thing. It comes back to Marcus Freeman. Just commit. If you're telling the guys that everybody that you getting somebody
He
better,
didn't commit.
and you bring him in,
He
then
didn't
commit 100% to him. Don't be telling people you're gonna have him.
If Tyler Buckner ends up being the starting quarterback, it will be tough to get another transfer quarterback to come to Notre Dame.
Facts. But we're also building our foundation, so hopefully
we won't need transfer quarterback in the future.
Hopefully that puts a lid on the transfer portal. Once we show that we're gonna do your transfers wrong, and we build up the right way with Kenny and CJ.
You think Sam Hartman came here for a competition?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who are we? Stop lying to ourselves. Sam Hartman did not come to Notre Dame under the idea that he was entering a quarterback competition.
Think about what you're saying. He left being drafted. He left millions of dollars on the table, being drafted, not having to go through all this to go compete with a dude that everybody that told him that he was better than before he got there. Now he's in a 50-50. He might not even get the snaps he wants this year. He left a third, fourth round pick, ACC touchdown record holder, best Wake Forest quarterback of all time, all the records, all the numbers. Third round projected pick this year. Could have been chilling with his feet up. Now he's in the snowy South Bend, cold Indiana with a 50-50 quarterback competition on his hands with a guy that hasn't played in 3 years. And this is the other problem. If it's such a competition, I'm sure they're going to throw Angeli in there. So now you ain't getting all 50-50. It's like 45 and 10 and 35 or something.
Like someone said, we all know Sam is the starter. Okay, the team needs to know. If people are missing the point, we don't need to know.
We don't need to know. I'm not playing with them.
The team needs to know. The team does not need to go into fall camp not knowing who the starting quarterback is.
Because I'll tell you what, if I'm a receiver, I'm trying to go.
Historically at Notre Dame, that doesn't go well.
I'm trying to take a trip with the quarterback in the fall, in the little fall break after spring game, so I can get my chemistry right. I can't take 2 trips.
Dude.
I can't go to North Carolina with Sam and then go to La Jolla with Sam. That's a lot of money. I'm trying to get in with one of the dudes. I can't get in with both.
That's all. And for someone that has watched the practices that we were allowed to watch, and for Left to be connected to the program and to hear the things that he's hearing, the team does not know who the starter is. They don't. They don't.
I mean, look, nobody seems to feel like it matters to when they decide. And I think it matters in the long run, maybe not in the short run, because at the end of the day, during fall camp, when it's 50-50 like this, there's a guy that can get hot late who's just having a few couple days where he's just a better guy. That's a short-term decision that will affect the season long-term. Whereas I'm thinking long-term, that affects the short-term. Meaning you start the guy and commit 100%. You can always recover when you have a good team and when you have an offense that's not centered around the quarterback. So if you have a good team already, if we go 100% sold in on Sam Hartman, get to after week 4, we win or lose to Ohio State, you can always insert Tyler Buckner and starting for the rest of the year, always. Because you know why? He's been there. Like he said, he knows what's going on. And they've even slimmed it down to where he has less. So now he has less to know, going into the season where he can play the whole time, stay healthy the whole time leading up, be a great support system, and a great quarterback leader for Sam Hartman as the backup. And then when it naturally happens, when Sam's talent runs out, but we've given him an opportunity to operate, taking 100% of the snaps, he doesn't win Ohio State game, which we basically signed him for, the 3 games. He doesn't win the Ohio State game. Cool, we can cut our ties there. He'll have his 4 little games of film, and Marcus Freeman, who's great at having tough conversations, will tell him, hey, Sam, we're going to transition to Tyler. You lost. Yeah. We didn't win Ohio State, and that's what you came here for. Now, I'm going to build my program with Tyler Buchner, who knows the most, who's most comfortable, the team likes. He's been here. He just hasn't stayed healthy. I'm going to ride with him till the wheels fall off. At week 4, it's not going to be a huge transition because he knows what we're doing. Sam, chill. And if we get in trouble later, I can put you back in and get some film for the league. That's easy. Because you can always insert a quarterback during the season because you have to win on a week-to-week basis. But when you're in a fall camp situation, a spring camp situation, it's about building the team chemistry with the quarterback. The quarterback has to learn how to be the general, the leader, has to learn how to be comfortable with the receivers and all the things going on included, the snap count, the offensive line. That's where you build that at. In season, you deal with the injuries. That's why you can throw people in there because you just have to win for that week. So the playbook is just for that week. That's why you can throw Tyler Buchner in there because he knows he has a foundation because he's been here. But it's like, okay, we need you to beat Pitt. Let's look at some film. Let's put together what you know. We can rock right there. At week 4, week 5.
Yeah.
It's not behooving Tyler to get 50% of the reps early to not start or not play until later in the season anyway. So it just doesn't make sense.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Yo, let's get to these coordinators left. All we do on this podcast is try to warn people of things to come and what might be. And all of a sudden, when they come to fruition, we're the bad guys. We're just telling you, man, check your Notre Dame history and tell me when going into fall camp, not knowing who the quarterback is. Let me know when that's worked out in Notre Dame's favor. Just let me know. Didn't work last year. Yo, if you went and got the guy, make him the dude. Let everybody know he's the dude. And if he gets outplayed, then fine. You can make a change. But at least you stuck to your guns and let everybody know who the dude is.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay if you just sold out on Sam Hartman. You told Tyler Buchner you was bringing him in. You gave him 100% of the reps to get ready for the season, and it doesn't work out. Everybody would be like, okay, we tried something. We tried to think that we could get better because we committed to the plan and we did that. But don't commit to a plan halfway and then at the end throw Tyler Buchner and be like, well, see, Tyler rose above all the doubters. You were the doubters. You were the ones telling him he wasn't good enough. You were the ones that was giving him half the chance. You were the one. So if he does better, don't say it was because of him. You the one that put the obstacle there. This is it. You supposed to be on his team. If you on his team, you support him. Not throw obstacles to see if he can jump over them. This is not. You do that if you're trying to win a prize, like a cash prize in that setting. But if you're trying to win a championship with a team, you don't do that to your team leader. What sense does that make? Make your quarterback that runs the show jump through the most psychological hurdles to do what? Make him less prepared and be like, competition? No, isn't no competition. It's a business.
We said that Tyler Buchner can win at Notre Dame if you allowed him to develop.
Yeah.
We were down with Sam Hartman coming in, but we told you to hold your horses and stop making them the savior.
Or commit to.
We told you he was going to have a tough time transitioning at Notre Dame. And it wasn't going to be as easy as everybody thought it would be. We said that. We said the quarterback room is twice as good as it's ever been in the last 4 or 5 years. We said that. We said that. We said Notre Dame should score more points than they ever did under Brian Kelly in the last 3 seasons he was here. We said that. Don't get mad at us just because we operate in our right to actually disagree with how something is being handled. That's all. We disagree with, once again, going into fall camp, not knowing who the dude is when it didn't work for you last year, and it was obvious who the starter was. And heck, if one person has outplayed the other one to this point, then guess what? To this point, he should be the starter. Whoever walks out with that first unit, whoever walks on the field with that first offensive line unit on Saturday, that's the dude.
Starter.
That's the dude. That's the dude. That's the dude.
And Roderick says it's not smart to give one player 100% of reps. He must not know how professional sports work.
He definitely doesn't know how professional sports work.
Backup quarterbacks take 0.
What percentage of snaps? Wait, what percentage of the snaps in 2015?
Manny's backup take?
No.
0.
Let's keep it to college. What percentage of the snaps did you get coming into the 2015 season going into Texas?
50. Yeah, 80%.
80%. 80%. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? When you know who the starter is, they get the bulk of the snaps in practice. Like, what are we talking about? Stetson Bennett got 80% of the snaps. Caleb Williams is getting 80% of the snaps.
And they got great quarterbacks there.
Drake May is getting 80% of the snaps.
Oh, Drake May is getting 100%. They don't even...
Hey,
Drake May is running the practice on offense. What are you talking about?
It's not 100%. Wait, who? Man, stop. Talk with some sense. Nobody has said anything about giving 100% of the snaps.
It doesn't have to be 100, but it can't be 50.
See, man, this is when the hyperbole
starts. It don't got to be 100, but it can't be 50.
Where people just want to argue just to argue instead of listening. We can agree to disagree. But once again, there's only one person that has been through it on both sides competitively and knows definitively how it affects a football team. And that's this dude right here. And if you want to argue, no. Now we're lying. Left. Now we said a quarterback deserves 100% of the snaps.
I think that if you're serious about a quarterback coming in for 1 year that has no idea about what y'all do, and y'all are hoisting him as the quote-unquote savior or guy to get over the hump, you 100% need to 100% giving 100% of the snaps.
So don't say y'all said that. Y'all didn't say that. He said that.
Okay, let's not be.
And he's being hyperbolic.
Yes.
You have to understand
let's be literal then. Let's be literal.
Please be literal before they take this to another message board.
It cannot be 50-50. That's me being little. It cannot be 50-50. If you are expecting Sam to come in and be better than what your guys are in the room, which you told already the year before, it cannot be 50-50. It should be 70-30, 80-20. But there has to be an overwhelming amount of support for a guy that that can't carry by himself. If he can't carry by himself, you have to It's like if a sponge is dry,
yeah,
don't put a little water on it. It ain't gonna get it. It ain't gonna get the job done.
Yeah,
pour water on it till it can't take no more water.
Yeah,
that's how you do it. Because when you're required to operate, I don't want to hear nobody talk about Sam don't know everything. He ain't that comfortable. Why not? How is he he not comfortable in game 1 or 2? How is he not? Oh, because he only been taking 50% of the rest. It's just backwards. If you want a guy to go do a job, then let him do the job. That's the whole point. If you want a guy to be an insurance plan, that should be a conversation. Hey, don't go third, fourth round. Come be the rabbit in the race for Tyler Buckner to get better than you. And then if it doesn't work, you can play. And if it does, we'll, 50-50 it until something happens. You're hurting the team. You're hurting the team because at the end of the day, those 5 guys up front, they would like to listen to one voice. They would
That's it. That's it. That's all that's been said. And for the second season, it's not a good feeling not knowing going into fall camp who the quarterback is, bro. And
Tyler
as
Buckner
much
don't feel good. You think Tyler Buckner did you think Tyler Buckner feels good going into fall camp? His third fall camp being 50-50? This is third one now. To two of the 50-50 battles are the guys that came out of nowhere. They didn't go to the freshman orientation.
last year was the most disrespectful. I
Last
can tell
year,
you right now, Tyler Buckner knew without a shadow of a doubt he was better than Drew Pine.
yes.
Like, that was disrespectful to Tyler. I'll tell you right now. And this is the thing. You know what's so crazy? There was a ton of publications like talking about how much better Drew Pine was.
Yeah, ton.
And I'm like, what? In what aspect? Look,
That's what I'm saying. If I'm Tyler Buckner, I am sick of this. Sick of this. Ian didn't do this. Hell, Deshaun only did
that's
it
a
for a
great
season.
see, that's a great example. Being decisive. After that Miami game, Brian Kelly was decisive about who was the quarterback for Notre Dame.
Well, they've been
He
trying to
didn't-
get Brandon out. They've been
Thank
trying.
you.
But they didn't want to
Thank
say
you.
it. They wanted Brandon to play bad, then they can do it. They didn't want to be like, all right, we're just gonna go in.
Well,
See,
they
Clemson
kinda-
did it right. Clemson did it right. I love how Clemson did it. They said, Kelly Brown, I know you balling, brother, but
You're not Trevor.
You're just not Trevor.
You're not Trevor.
And
And that's
even though you threw a
cool.
touchdown,
Yes.
See, it's messed up how Notre Dame did Brandon. They was like, please throw a pick so we can put this man Ian in, please. Ian came in and threw a pick. They said, damn, Ian.
A pick
You
six
messing it
at that. A pick six at that.
So Marcus Freeman just need to keep it real. Just keep it real.
Let's do.
If I'm Tyler Buckner, I'm pissed. I'm walking in Marcus Freeman office first day of fall camp and say, stop playing with me. You telling me dudes is better than me that you about to bring in? Then they come in not better than me? Then you brought in, then the dude last year wasn't better than me. You talk about 50-50. What is this? Let me be me. Tyler Buckner?
And we close out with Eric Ward saying this. We're not winning crap this year anyway. Should not have got a transfer. Should have went with Buckner. And maybe next year we should be better off. No, you went and got the transfer quarterback because you felt like your team has a chance to get to the playoffs. That's why you went and got him. That's why you went and got him.
That's why you told your guy that you're saying is 50-50 that we're looking for better than him. And now you telling him he's got a chance? He's 50.
No, hey, I tip my cap. I usually have my cap right here so I can tip it. I tip my cap to Tyler Buckner, wanting to be the antagonist of this whole situation.
Man, you want to do it. You want to be in this because that's
Wanting to say, all right, you go do what you want to do. He has to see me on this field.
He got to see me on the field, which is great. But it's like he already know he can do the job better right now. That's all. Tyler knows he can do the job better right now, and he's not upset. He's just laying cool in the weeds because he knows that he got to be ready now. Like that's the thing. Let the circus go on and all this Sam Hartman business. But at the end of the day, when Tyler Buckner gets his chance, he gotta play good.
You know what the killer part is? As much as Tyler Buckner completed what 9 straight passes against Ohio State in the first half.
Yeah.
You know how many things I can point out? You know how bad the offensive line was against Ohio State?
From where they finished, yeah.
You know how bad they were? Like, people want to jump on Tyler Buckner. You know how bad the offensive line was? Al Golden, safety blitz from 20 yards away on 3rd and 10. And what are we talking about? As bad as he played against Marshall, with 6 minutes left, Tyler Buckner had the ball on Marshall's side of the field with a chance to put the game away. What does your 5th-year senior do after a timeout?
Get a false
on
start.
Third and short. What did he do?
False start or something crazy.
False start. Now, what are we talking about, man? Like, Notre Dame could have won games if they were a better team, even with Tyler Buckner learning and getting better.
Growing, which he could have got experience of when he was a freshman with Jack Holmes. And we would have really been in the head of the game. So,
and the fan base still wasn't happy after the Gator Bowl. They still weren't happy. They still weren't happy.
Yeah.
See, we want to forgive people, right? Right? Once again, you have a chance to put the game away, and your 5th-year senior, so that had nothing to do with the game. Keeping your young quarterback in 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 6, that's not a better position for him. Right?
Making your quarterback who's young have the most carries on the team and he's not the running back, that's not putting the team in position to win.
Because the offensive line couldn't move the ball and move the defensive line that was 30 pounds lighter off the ball against Marshall. So
against Stanford.
Against Stanford. Let's just put it all on Tyler Buckner. Put it all on the quarterbacks. Let's forget about how the rest of the
team was the lightest.
Forget about how the rest of the team. See, this is why. Is why. No. Let me explain it to you. This is why this fan base blindly put the pressure on Sam Hartman, because they ignore all of the problems with everybody else.
Yeah,
they ignore the problems everywhere else. If we just get the quarterback right, everything's gonna be fine. No. Your offensive line was terrible. Your offensive line was terrible for the first 2 games.
Hell, the Stanford game was even worse.
For the first 2 games,
9 points.
For the first 2 games, the defensive line couldn't stop a running attack.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't stop Ohio State in the 3rd and 4th quarter. They couldn't stop Marshall on the ground. But we want to talk about Tyler Buckner.
Now, he did throw 2 pick sixes.
And the quarterback.
That was tough.
That's true.
But that's beside the point.
You can win, right? Sam Hartman had a game with like 5 interceptions and 2 pick sixes last year. I don't hear that.
He could have had Tyler Buckner could have had a touchdown before half if Braden Lindsey connected on that against Marshall. So it's
that's on Tyler Buckner. He missed that pass.
That's on Tyler
My
Buckner.
My point is, football does not come down to one player, and it does not come down to one position. And when you as a fan base continue to forgive the flaws that are all over the field and focus just on the quarterback and think just getting the quarterback is going to lead to a national championship, that's when you have a problem. You got a blind spot for your team, and you need to open your eyes. You got a blind spot for your team, and you need to open your eyes. Because we're not about to sit here and act like J.D. Bertrand was great the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. We're not about to do that. We're not about to act like the linebackers were great. We're not about to sit here and act like every backup running back ran for darn near 100 yards against Notre Dame. We're not about to sit here and ignore all of that.
No.
We're not about to sit here and ignore the fact that USC's coaching staff said if we don't allow the special teams for Notre Dame to get on the field, we'll be fine. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That was their approach. But it's the quarter. It's all about the quarterbacks, though.
Yeah.
So we get the quarterback right, Notre Dame's going to be fine. They're just going to get fine. They're going to be fine.
I definitely think the quarterback has a huge piece, but I think that from a decision standpoint on who to roll out there, I don't think it should be treated like these other positions are treated. You can't treat the quarterback position in terms of what they mean to a team the same as what the running backs, because the running backs are a very important part of our offense. They will make it go in a lot of cases. We have a huge depth chart of running backs.
Yeah.
But are the running backs going to be the deciding factor in a game of which the talent is equal? Maybe, maybe not. I think it plays a big part. But having a quarterback, it just, man.
Look, hey, Left, all I know is it's a bunch of people in the chat that's copping pleas right now.
Yeah.
Because when Sam Hartman decided to come to Notre Dame, nobody was talking about he needed development. Nobody was talking about
it was going to be 50-50 even.
Nobody, no one was talking about, Sam Hartman needs to be developed. That's not what was being said.
No.
That was not. We got ripped on our podcast because we said relax.
That's true.
He's not that dude. He's not a carrier.
Not a carrier.
He's going to have to come in and be a part of a team.
Yeah, and he can be good doing
and
that.
win a team.
Yeah.
Win a team over. We said that. And people were like, oh, y'all haters. And now that we're here in the midst of a competition and we're hearing about them struggling and we're hearing about how Tyler has the respect of the players and everybody, now it's like, oh, well, he needs time. He needs development. What? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, because somebody brought up how many passing yards Sam Hartman has, right? 12,000. Let me read you the top 10 all-time passers in yardage in college football. Case Keenum, Tim Chang, Landry Jones, Graham Harrell, Ty Detmer, Kellen Moore, Baker Mayfield, Luke Falk, Colt Brennan, and Rakeem Cap. You tell me which one of them went to the next level and lit it up, Left. So like I said, in terms of the NFL, he's a third, fourth round pick.
Backup. He's no different than Ian. Ian, they're going to float around as backups and playing preseason games and making an appearance in week 13 and 14 or something like that and be a Matt Moore of the league, get a couple.
John Massey, I agree with you totally. After 4 years, ain't no development left.
Ain't none.
He is who he is.
He's about to get drafted. He was already about to get handmade, packaged up, and sent to the league. No assembly required. We got a guy with no assembly required. He's supposed to be ready to go.
All right, here you go, man. Here you go, Left. Let's get this out of the way, man. Gerard Parker or the quarterbacks, Left.
To talk about it, I think that for us, the development has happened through a strong relationship that's being built by the room, through Gino and the guys. And we think as a staff, that's probably the best part, that they've really bonded, which you have to in that room to get things solved. So the development has happened well off the field, which really helps it. And I said this the other day in another interview. I think that anytime you add maturity and guys like Sam Hartman to your program and to that room, all it does is make everybody better. And this Notre Dame has taught me now more than ever, that's what Notre Dame's about. Like, we want to put special people in this program from the head coach down. And when you do that, it's the adage that high tide raises all boats. And that is what I've seen and what we've seen as a staff. So, I'm not dodging the question that everybody's going to want to ask. The development's been good. Buckner and Sam have both played at a high level. It's great to see Minchie come out today and play some high-level reps as a guy that still should be in high school. And Steve Angeli has really showed some promise in throwing the football as well. So that's really where it is. So all four have developed in their own way.
Wait. Can I start? Let me start from I'll let you handle the front end. Let me explain the back end because it correlates to what we've been talking about. Anybody with two eyes that went to Notre Dame's practice can tell that Kenny Minchie is a better quarterback than Steve Angeli. It takes 5 minutes of watching him throw to realize who the better quarterback is.
Hey, why did Gerard Parker talk about them in sequence of starting? He mentioned Kenny before he mentioned Steve. That means Kenny.
Exactly. You know why? Because Kenny's a better quarterback.
And then he hit him with he's showing some promise of throwing it. Anybody can show promise throwing it. Is he commanding the offense? Is he making good plays? He said, yeah, he's showing some promise that he can throw it. That's terrible. But he's like, Kenny should be in high school still. He out here.
But you know what? That is top level football program. You recruit a kid, he should be good, and he should be better than the dudes you have there at the bottom. He should be better than Steve Angeli.
Yeah.
And he should be equipped in November to start a game if necessary. Period. So what? Next year we're going to go into fall camp with Tyler and Kenny Minchie battling it out.
I can't. Tyler, I would tell Tyler, please don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself, Tyler. Don't let them rope you into that again. Because Angeli I think Angeli knows he might get his degree this year. He get his degree this year, right?
Yo, it might be a year away. But no. He's just Angeli's still a freshman.
No, he's not.
Or is it a sophomore? I'm stuck. Either way, look,
don't be mad. Don't be taking it hard because they don't talk about it going either.
Look, all I'm trying to say is that it didn't take us long last year to know that Tyler Buckner was better than Drew Pine. It did not take us long. I don't know what everybody else was looking at.
Yeah, that's what I don't be understand. I'm like, I know you probably go to practices and can identify within the first 10 minutes who's starting, who's on the cusp of starting, who's a dude, and who is not a dude, who shouldn't be there, should probably be some. It's like, come on, you've watched football long enough. That's why I'm like, why is this quarterback thing such a mystery? It's like if we really had to watch practice and be like, who do I want rolling out against?
Look, for the sake, I'm telling you right now, Left, from the practices that I've seen, it is clear as we sit here, April 18th, 2023, it is clear who the better quarterback has been in spring. It's clear. Now, it might not be the person that they want it to be.
Yes, that's what it's about.
But it's clear.
Yeah.
Who the better quarterback is right now.
And that's the problem I'll be having. Because you know what's clear, but it's not what you want it to be. Don't fight it.
So,
don't fight it. I actually like what D-Rock said. I said, I like what D-Rock Irish said. Listen, if it's so 50-50, don't play either one of them in the spring game. Play Angeli and Kenny Minchie to see who's going to be the third going into fall. That's it. That way, Steve Angeli can know, okay, Kenny's better than me. It's time to move on.
Josh Miller said, according to you guys, Kenny shouldn't get any reps. If you watch practice, If you watch practice, he barely gets reps. Thank you, Josh. You're right. Because that's what actually happens. But you know what Kenny does with the minimum reps he gets? He lights it up. With the 5 reps he gets every practice, he lights it up in live action. He lights it up. So you clearly see in minimum action that he's better than that dude. And if you give him time, he's going to mess around and be better than that dude. You keep playing. Because he's a natural thrower of the football.
That's right.
At the quarterback position,
it matters.
It's not, as Nas said, it ain't hard to tell, bro.
It ain't hard.
It is not hard to tell.
That's why I'm like, Marcus Freeman, come on, you a smart black man. It's you know what looks good, bro. You play football. You know what you lined up against across and knew what was dangerous and what wasn't. I feel like Marcus Freeman would have a hard time chasing Tyler around.
Now, I will say this. The majority of practices that we've seen have been pressure periods, which Notre Dame defensively is going to be aggressive this year. I really think they're going to be aggressive this year. We're going to get to Al Golden in a second. Normal defenses that don't blitz, Sam Hartman's probably easily the better quarterback.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about real live bullets and the way teams are probably going to approach Notre Dame this year,
Most likely how teams are gonna play us. Tyler Buckner is the
and,
fit.
and the
Yes,
way
I
things have been
know.
going, the way the defense has been playing versus the offense in the spring, yes, one has clearly outplayed the other. I'm not mentioning names. I'm just saying one has
And
outplayed
guess
the
and
other
guess which
in
one
those situations.
and guess where that would matter the most in those 3 games. Sam Hartman can look good in all of the games. But them 3 games when the bullets start flying, we know who should be in there. And that's why I was like, listen, if you're selling out on Sam, sell out on Sam. But if it comes down to when his all starts really going on, and we really, 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 really need something different out there against a team that we might be stagnant with from a talent perspective, Tyler Buckner is the answer.
Yeah.
He's the answer. Because Sam ain't changing who he is in them 4 years of being who he is.
Yeah.
Them 26 interceptions is a reason for that.
Yo, Gerard Parker talked about his offensive evolution.
Good for us. It was awesome to be able to start day one. I think I said this before spring, to be able to know that we could line up, snap the football, and operate with all the things pre-snap before even worrying about trying to execute. There's a lot that goes into just being able to have the ability to get the ball snapped. And so that was a great start. The evolution has been, what are we going to cut? What are we going to rename? How are we going to play with different tempos and certain things that allow us to operate maybe differently? And then add what our wrinkles are. So we've been proud to add some things that we think are going to improve us and make Notre Dame better. And then still stand on who we are, which is to be a tough physical football team up front. So hopefully we've done those things.
Then you touched a little bit on the 3 freshman early enrollee receivers. I realize how early it is still right now, but are you seeing any inklings that maybe 1 or 2 of those guys could be a contributor in the fall?
Yeah, maybe's fair. It's no need to put pressure on those guys. They'll put enough on themselves, and this place does that because of expectations. They're right where they need to be. All of them show great promise. They're eager, and they're figuring it out. And that takes a little bit of the bumpy road that Coach Free talks about, but the guys are here, they're eager, and they all 3 show great promise moving forward.
Well, I think we know what we got. I think the staff was excited about Sam and what he could add to a new layer of passing for our offense. I think that was an attractive thing that they saw on film where they said, okay, we can expand our passing offense with our run game with Sam Hartman. Obviously, getting him is going to take a little bit longer to get things on speed, especially if you're 50-50 in their reps. But I think Tyler Buckner could be the answer if you committed to him as well, which is why I do believe we have a better quarterback room than we've had in the last few years. But it's only better if you commit to one or the other. I think committing to both throughout the season, I think is almost unnecessary because I think either one of them individually could each win 8 games. Excluding the 3 games that is going to make or break our season. The other games, I think either one of them starting could win those games. So it's not like we're jumping from level 5 to level 1. This is like a level 3 to level 2 jump. And if it's that close, I think at this point it would make more sense to just commit to a guy till the wheels fall off. And because they're so close, it's not going to be a hard to just go to the other one and when in need. That's what y'all did with, you know what I'm saying? I think it was a disadvantage for Drew Pine because he probably felt like he should have started the way y'all was talking about him. So getting him that hype for him not to start and then come in like he did, it just didn't look the same. You know, the chemistry was off. So I don't think you can miss. I think the only way we can mess this up is if we try to keep waiting it out, and not have a plan for if you do use both, which we said was possibility in terms of having Tyler in packages, but it seems like y'all like you more than packages. So y'all need to just have a plan on how you're going to do it. Maybe first quarter, Siam goes, second quarter, Tyler goes. But either way, you have to be decisive. I think you're on mute.
You know, it's like you said, you know, we only report what we see or what we know. Period. I don't care what Sam Hartman looked like against Clemson in that pressure last year.
Yeah, I don't really care about that.
He's not running Wake Forest offense, and he's under center against pressure for the first time. That's totally different.
That's totally different.
And he's struggling. So I don't care. That Clemson tape means absolutely nothing in Notre Dame's offense. Nothing. His saving grace, honestly, are the two offensive tackles he has in this offense in the running game, especially early, especially against Ohio State. Because Ohio State's going to bring the same pressure they brought last year. Same pressure. And they're going to go man-to-man on the outside. Until Notre Dame proves that they can hurt them with big plays in the passing game.
That's it.
So if he was running Wake Forest offense, okay, I'm sure he probably would look good against pressure.
Yeah.
But this is not Wake Forest offense.
And it don't look like we trying to make it Wake Forest offense either.
No.
That's the thing. We ain't trying to make it look like that either. No. You got to come learn our stuff.
No, we're not bringing bits and pieces over at all.
At all. That's why you're hurting. Because you're no different than Kenny. You and Kenny about on the same, football level on understanding of the offense.
Look,
and that's why I said don't let Kenny get in that mix because Kenny might mess around. They be like, you know what, Kenny got more years, huh?
Marcus Freeman had a reason for that, though. He kind of explained that away a little bit. Let me know what you think, bro.
Where communication is vital, right? Is between the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator being on the same page and communicating on what they're going to see. But what you don't want to do is slow down the progress of the defense. You're talking about the defense being in year two. All the coaches are the same. A lot of guys are returning. What they're doing defensively is at a totally different level than what it even was last year. I mean, those guys are playing at a really high level and doing multiple different things. And the offense, even though the terminology is the same, and there's a couple coaches that are the same, they're still continuing to gel together as they move forward. But communication is vital. The other thing is it can't always be outcome driven. That's the one thing you'll hear me say all the time is that I'm not always concerned about who wins or loses. Last year had to be competitive spirit. Like, we got to be competitive. You got to win every drill. And I felt that's what we needed. This year it's like we have to continue to progress. I'm not worried about August yet. I'm just worried about getting better. So maybe, there's exceptions to the rules. And maybe there's success on defense because we haven't installed that offensively. But can we teach and get better from it? And that's what I make sure to reiterate to all the coaches. I'm the worst one. Don't be so outcome driven. Don't be outcome driven. Make sure we are continuing to improve, and that's important.
Now let me add to this that in that questioning, he was talking about the defense and he was being asked why they've been blitzing so much in
Yeah, this is a
spring, and
natural.
he was saying it's not that we've been blitzing so much. He's
It's
that
the next
you
level of
have you have the next level of
installment.
Al
Yeah.
Golden's installment going up against Gerard Parker's first
Level
level.
what? That's my question. What level you think the offense is at with this
So
transfer,
he
Marcus
was
Freeman?
basically saying that the defense was ahead because they look, this is what they do, which leads me to believe that in his second year, Al Golden is going to be
Way
very
better.
aggressive,
Yeah.
very aggressive.
They upgraded. They ready to go.
So Marcus Freeman is saying the defense is ahead because they're working on the second installment of Al Golden's defense and they're comfortable now in the defense. That's why we're blitzing. It's not like we're just blitzing on purpose. This is who we are defensively. This is who we've grown to be. And that's why I said, hey, we might get an aggressive Notre Dame this year, which should be exciting to watch, But against that aggressive defense, once again, and Sam Hartman's not alone. Tyler has struggled against the pressure as well. But one has struggled more than the other. Because from what we've watched, when they pressure, the defense wins the day.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that he said that, Left.
No, yeah, I think it's good that Al Golden is feeling more comfortable to install the next level or layer of intricacies or complexities in what they were doing from last year, which I think will benefit not only in the types of disguises, but also the timing of blitzes, and we become a faster defense when you're on a next level of making the same things that look away, but you're responding differently to them. And that trust factor, I think that's the biggest thing that Al Golden, Marcus Freeman noticed with the defense is the trust factor. Al Golden trusts those guys, trust that the second year of them getting it, they can be effective with it, and it's been shown in practice clearly because we've been lighting the offense up. So that's why I go back to, talking about Sam, is that he has to play way better on a day-to-day basis, which he's not used to. Yeah, you can have 5 touchdowns against Clemson in one game of the season, but just imagine going against a Clemson-type defense every day.
And he might end up being better for it, like Jack Cole was.
Exactly. Jack Cohn didn't face a better defense every day in practice. Well, Wisconsin's team was pretty good.
Yeah, he did face some.
But he saw what a better defense than that looked like every day. So Jack probably was comfortable, like he looked comfortable whenever he was in there. Like, man, I'm gonna just sit back here and do my thing because I've seen good defenses, every day. And I think Sam is making that adjustment. All I'm saying is give him more. Don't just tease him with some reps. Give him the reps he needs to be the guy that you told Tyler Buckner he was. Let Sam be the guy the boogeyman that you told Tyler Buckner was coming last year. Don't let him get half the reps, and it's just a way of doing things.
Hey, Al Golden, who is jumping out on defense?
Vitello stepping into a bigger role, Junior stepping into a bigger role. Burnham has done a nice job. Inside, Anya has made progress, which is great. Heinisch has made progress. So, there's a bunch of guys battling there, and there's still time. We have a couple other guys that we need to step up. JJB has made a big difference at end. Him and Nana are doing a great job there, and Baptiste is doing a great job learning the defense. So that's been positive too.
And throughout the spring, what's been your emphasis or message to, I guess, maybe all 3 of the fifth-year guys at linebacker, and even then maybe individually each of those 3 of?
Yeah, just challenging them to get better. Find things every day to get better at. I think Kai's has done that. It's been great to see his progression. being able to play inside and outside. So I'm really pleased with his spring so far. JD, we challenged him to lead, continue to lead, be more of a team leader, unit leader, which has been great. And Maris has to have the versatility to go on and off the ball. So I think he's improved his edge stuff. So I think, all three of those guys are challenged every day, and they've responded.
You like what you hear?
Yeah, I think it's just a general overview. Listening to guys like Al Gold, he just is like everybody's just steadily moving along. He speaks more of like the team in progress than Marcus Freeman speaks of like how the team is going to be and what he wants it to be and how it looks in the outside looking in. So you're not going to get too much from Al Gold other than, things are on pace how they should be. And that's good to hear, but also hearing from Marcus Freeman that they have dived or dove deeper into getting that defense a little more intricate. Just in turn, it's going to make us better in the long run. We were 16th in pass defense last year. I think that'll be better, if not the same. And then coming along with that, our run game and run defense becomes more stout. And if we can make 2 defensive stats in the top 25, I think we're on pace to being a threat defensively going into the playoffs, but also make those 3 games seem a lot less big.
Yeah, I can see that. I like the way you looked at that, Left. I have to be honest. I like the way you looked at that. Changed my perception a little bit. We close out with Gerard Parker talking about the names that he's loving.
And you're right. I was thinking about it before I came in to visit with you all. That you're writing names down, and that's good, right? I think the development of Chris Tyree is certainly something that's going to be a factor for us. And as he learns how to play that position, Tobias has taken necessary steps. JT, as he continues to work what it means to be able to play every down and really force himself to be in shape to do that, is really taking steps. Those 3 kind of veterans, if you will, kind of show up in different ways, which has been great. The young guys that are here, again, that should be in high school right now are just learning, but there's certainly so much to see from them that you like. Deion Colsey is taking some steps in certain practices, and if we continue to work on his consistency, we feel good. But you've got a rack of names there that you start to feel good about being able to play and not have to be so put them on the sheet, put them on a call sheet, and have to sub so many out and move the pieces so much. You'd rather be able to sit still with them a little bit.
I think Chris Tyree is very intriguing. And Chris Tyree and his development could be one of the main reasons that Lorenzo Styles even thinks about playing the other side of the ball.
Facts. I agree with that.
I told you, man, I didn't see too many people that can stick him over the middle. Like option routes,
Chris
crossing routes.
Tyree?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. A little
there's
fast.
not too many, no linebackers and safety sticking him, man. Like, that short area, no. Is he a top-notch route runner right now? No.
No. But can he get open in them little 5 or 10 yard routes? Yes.
And is he a playmaker?
Yes.
Yes. Is he someone that I'm sure the staff fell in love with? Like, oh man, wow, look at that. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. They're not going to give you too much on the young wide receivers. Like, yeah, maybe they can contribute. I'm telling you, they will contribute. All you have to do is watch them and watch the way they move. They'll contribute. Eli Raridan, getting him back, and some of the other injured tight ends, getting them back. Cooper Flanagan, they'll be able to go to their 12 personnel every now and then if they choose to do so. So, the spring is the spring. The fall will give you the totality of what they want to do. Ultimately, we would have loved for the fall to start with someone being the general of the offense, but they do have a pretty slow starting schedule. So maybe they treat the first two games as an extension of fall camp. Who knows?
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, you better be ready when Ohio State comes to town. That's it.
Yeah. Ohio State coming to town is going to be a good test. I just think for the guys to be able to culminate that what they were working on makes sense before the rest of the season takes place. A good marker for if we're really like that. And I think that we'll find out, and I'm excited to see year 2 of Marcus Freeman, man, a lot of ups and downs so far, and it's been so often. So I'm like, hopefully it turns around for my guy.
I think it will. I think it will. You know what time it is.
Petticoat, petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty history? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Story of the Day brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. I don't know if I need to put Sabonis or Draymond on the Petty train, bro. Sabonis has spent the first 2 games flopping and diving and being a little extra at times.
Do you think he's doing that because he knows he's going against Draymond? He's almost got to be like that. He's like, man, Coach Mike Brown's like, man, Draymond gonna have all the antics, so you damn near got to have antics too,
I don't know. Draymond definitely on the Petty train for all the extra stuff while they were reviewing the play. And it's like, man, you know what? Yeah, this is your last year with Golden
You
State.
can tell, huh? You can tell he's just fighting and scratching it. That like he don't want it to be last. He trying to reignite the big 3. He trying to do anything he can, but it's like it don't look like Clay and Steph rocking with him like that, And Jordan Poole just like that awkward friend that's like they want him to be in the club, but they close homie don't want him to be in there. He basically. Jordan Poole is like B Mickey. and Draymond's like Terry in the beginning, where Terry like, man, why we like this dude B Mickey, man? And Meeching and boys rocking with B Mickey,
Yeah, I think I don't expect Draymond or Jordan Poole to be on Golden State next year.
Whoa. They just paid Jordan Poole the bag.
Yeah, he's gonna get a nice little trade too.
Shoot. I don't know. If Steph say so, if Steph like, look, get them both out of here.
I know he's been sitting on that bench in this series. You know why?
He can't play defense.
He can't defend worth a lick. I don't care how much you can score. We can't play you. Man, for who?
Yeah.
Man, you know how many teams would trade for Jordan Poole?
Who? The Wizards?
Man, I guarantee you the Bulls will trade for him. Man, that's dumb. I guarantee it.
They wouldn't trade for him. They got Zach LaVine.
Are we starting the Zach LaVine stuff again?
I'm just saying.
Come on, man. Don't start this, man. Don't start this.
No, Zach Levine.
You know who would I would trade him to? I would dangle Jordan Poole to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, but he's a young guy too, you know.
You know, it's teams out there. They feel like, oh man, he scores 20 points. He can shoot.
Not with Kevin Porter Jr. ball hog himself and Jalen Green ball hog too. Both of them ball hogs. That backcourt is the most ball hogging backcourt in America. I wouldn't want to play for none of them boys.
And Houston is the worst city for both of them dudes to play in.
Oh man, like they playing for what's off the court. They playing for that.
Oh my God. It's the worst city. The worst. You literally need veterans in Houston, dude. Because
You have Eric Gordon couldn't take it. And he was already a vet in Houston. He said, I gotta get the hell up out of here. You boys are crazy.
Man.
He said, these boys are Eric Gordon's face the whole time that year was like, man, get me out of here.
Oh, and I'm not saying, I see the chat. I'm not saying that. I just think Draymond went over the top. I'm not here to debate him stomping on dude. First of all, the whole thing started because Sabonis flopped. Trying to get a foul on Klay Thompson. Fell on the ground and then grabbed Draymond's leg, which could have been a foul on him.
Should have been a foul. Well,
should have been a foul on him.
I mean, he held on to it like he was like, you're not going anywhere. I'm like, wait a minute. What kind of basketball play is this, Savon? That's how I know. I'm like, maybe Mike Brown told him, you got to pull out all the antics with Draymond because Draymond's going to give you, you're going to go all the way.
Man, look, all I know is it is what it is. It happened. And, yeah, I'm sorry, Draymond did what he did. Can we put a team on the field that terrifies opposing teams? Thank you for the super chat, Truman Dumel.
Them blitzes is hitting like you saying they do in practice. We're going to be all right.
Man. Any concern with Notre Dame's youth movement at wide receiver? With Caleb Smith retiring and Styles potentially changing positions, it's clear that multiple true freshmen will play a lot of snaps. Has that ever worked?
Where multiple players played.
What year was that? The Ohio State went to Jameson Williams was like a freshman, redshirt freshman. I think Jameson Williams is a redshirt freshman, and Jigba Smith was like a redshirt freshman. Justin Fields last year
was what?
They had Olave. They had Olave, Jameson Williams, and Jigba Smith. They had young freshmen. Ohio, like right now, Cardell Tate is like running with the ones. I'm like, dude, either dudes can play or they can't.
Yeah.
Either your young players can play or they can't. You know, so I don't lose too much over freshman wide receivers getting a lot of reps. All right, Lef. When do you start? Man, when do you travel? Because we need to set up the rest of the week's schedule for the shows.
I leave Wednesday night, a red eye, so I'll be able to be up to speed on stuff. Won't miss anything.
All right.
Wednesday night,
that's something else, boy.
It's just a straight shot, not bad, right?
No, as long as it's a straight shot.
Oh.
The Left, I'm Shaun Davis. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you spin it different.